So Jokić was unbelievable. If you add to the list, and let's talk. I mean, I'm talking greatest players in my life that I've seen in basketball. I saw Wilt, but he was old Wilt. He wasn't great. The greatest players I've seen. I'm not talking just really, really special like Dr. J, KD, Barkley. You know, these are special players. I'm talking about people, the greatest of all time, that have controlled this league for at least 2, 3 minimum, often 5, 6, 7. Controlled the league, just not stat guy or all-star guy. Controlled the league. There's only 10 since I've been watching basketball. Kareem, Bird, Magic, Kobe, Steph, Duncan, LeBron, Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem would have won more, but, you know, Jordan dominated the league. Again, Dirk, Barkley, KD, Giannis is close, but they all lack something, right? Like Barkley wasn't as committed. Maybe it's a leadership thing with KD. Giannis from the perimeter, there's limitations. I think Jokić, if they win the title, has to be put, his second title, has to be put in that elite all-time top 10 class. First of all, if you watch that game last night, the difference between the Western Conference teams and the Eastern, I mean, it's kids' table. Indy, Cleveland, the Knicks, that's the JV table. I know New York will love them, but give me a break. The size, the skill, the depth, the talent. I mean, Jokić is a notch above them. That's how I felt watching MJ or LeBron in his prime. Magic, it's just different. Even among Minnesota, Denver, it's Gordon and Murray and Ant and Naz Reid and Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns and Michael Porter. These are great, great, talented players. He's like next level. That's how I felt watching Michael Jordan, even against Barkley. Or Magic, even against his other great contemporaries. I mean, the guy, forget the 30 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and the insane efficiency, over 50%. He's shooting like Steph Curry from threes, 41%. Minnesota was the best defensive team in the league. And at one point, third to fourth quarter, Denver made 13 of 14 shots. That's like going up against Lawrence Taylor and the Giants and saying, yeah, bring it on. And you can't get pressure. The quarterback has 6 seconds to throw. I mean, it's insane. That's the Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill, Andy Reid offense not being able to pick up first downs. 13 of 14 against this defense. Jokić was seeking out the defensive player of the year multiple times, Rudy Gobert, looking for him on the floor. That is so Jordan. That is so Shaq. Who's the best guy? Bring him on. And dominate him. I mean, you're watching the Eastern Conference, Indiana and the Knicks. Knicks are a great story. Come on. They're 500 against Western teams. That counts the bad Western teams. Minnesota and Denver are stacked rosters. Smartly coached, well constructed. You got Hall of Fame level talent on the floor in some of these instances. The next great player in Ant. Gobert, a dominant defensive player. I mean, look up and down those rosters. It's the grown-up table. And Jokić is a notch better than all of them. That's watching great shooters and then Bird and Steph. Like Bird is going to the All-Star three-point contest and mocking the league's other great shooters. You guys are playing for second place. That's all-time stuff. That's not Dirk. That's Bird and Magic stuff. That's like Magic Johnson against great Celtic teams showing off. Going up against the Sixers, playing center and scoring 42. What you're watching is just different. 41% on threes? I mean, come on. Against the best defensive team in the league, give me their best player. Best defensive team in the league, best defensive player. Jokić is like, bring it on. I'm going to dominate you. You don't get that. When Mike Tyson was scaring other good heavyweights, like they didn't want a piece of Mike Tyson. Like Tiger Woods would take Phil Mickelson, other great players, and they would shrink on a late Sunday afternoon. Like, that's different. That's what Joker's doing. These Denver and Minnesota, those are well-coached, well-constructed dudes, length, size, skill everywhere. This isn't junior varsity Eastern Conference stuff. And that is next level. So I watched Caitlin Clark. It's being dubbed a very shaky debut. She was playing against college kids, a month ago. She's 22. I watched. She looked a little tight, a little nervous. Bad first half, better second, finished with 20 points. The betting line over-under, she'd scored 20 and a half. She scored 20. If that's her stinker against the Connecticut Sun team that's supposed to be, I wouldn't know, but supposed to be, I'm told, one of the top 2 or 3 defensive teams in the sport, WNBA. Yeah, she had too many turnovers. She's going to be fine. The greatest prospect ever, Wemby's first game, 5 turnovers, 15 points, and he has a little genetic advantage. He's 7'4". Listen, she has carried the weight of women's basketball for a month. I keep hearing about, women's basketball growth. It's been fine, but 700,000 people watch the WNBA finals. Okay, that's significantly less than UFL football games, regular season games, and that sport's a month old. So I thought she looked tight, a little nervous. Teammates giving her hard coaching. It's okay. I watched LeBron's first basketball game, Wemby's first basketball game, Caitlin Clark. Listen, the NBA media was trying to sell me Ja Morant as the face of the league for 2 years. He couldn't get his personal life in order. I was sold that Zion was going to be something special. He can't figure out his diet. Like Caitlin Clark having a tough first half shooting, I'm okay with it. She's got to get her sea legs. I mean, the WNBA, the length, the size, the speed. You watch these quarterbacks their first couple of years in the NFL. It takes a while for the light to go on, so she's going to be fine. She was just a little sloppy, a little tight. But I think to myself, 22 years old, the weight of women's basketball on her shoulders, let her get her sea legs. Not to mention, again, Connecticut's supposed to be a good team, and they were traps and double teams all night long. Indiana's a bad basketball team. That's why they've had the number 1 pick the last couple of years. This may have been a little bit of Andrew Luck getting sacked and throwing interceptions. Remember when Andrew Luck came into the NBA or NFL? Everybody's like, he throws a lot of interceptions. He had the worst roster, the worst offensive line in one of the worst front offices. Yeah, and he would win 11 games. It's like, no, you're complaining about Andrew Luck's interceptions? Did you see the roster he took over? He won 11 games, and then 11 games, and then 11 games with no protection. She's going to be just fine. Debut, 22, horrible team. She's going to be just fine. She got me to turn to a television, ESPN 2, to watch the Indiana Fever. I didn't know they were a team 3 days ago, before the draft or whenever it was. So I'm fired up, Jay.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.